One click, one go live, one crowd, one chat, one moment you can't rewind. That's all it took, because the camera doesn't just record you. Sometimes it records the thing that ends you. Tonight, we're looking at streamers whose final minutes unfolded in real time. Broadcasts that didn't fade out like content. They cut out like heartbeats. And in every case, the tragedy isn't random. It's a hidden hazard, pressure, risk, exhaustion, obsession, waiting for the exact moment someone stops paying attention. Case 1. The flight that didn't come back down. It was September 27, 2025 in Zhonghe County, Sichuan, China. The kind of day where the sky looks clean and the air feels like permission. A live stream begins the way 1,000 others begin. The creator is upbeat, confident, and a little proud. This isn't just a hobby, it's identity, it's audience, it's watch me do something you can't. On the screen, viewers aren't just watching a man fly, they're watching him perform flying, because that's the modern deal. The engine noise becomes background music, the horizon becomes a thumbnail, and the chat becomes a second cockpit. The motive is simple: engagement. A live broadcast turns a private thrill into a public event. It turns "look at this" into "look at me." And when you're live, stopping early feels like failing. The scene is wide and exposed, open air, spinning blades, a small craft that looks stable until it doesn't. And somewhere in the stream, there's a warning sign that's easy to miss in the moment. A subtle change in tone, a slight wobble, a correction that happens a beat too late. What he didn't realize was, a live stream can't help you when the laws of physics decide the algorithm is over. The escalation comes fast, so fast that the human brain barely catches up. First, the craft shifts off the smooth line it had been holding. Then, the camera angle changes, because his hands are busy correcting. Then, the horizon tilts harder than it should. The engine sound doesn't stop, but it changes, strained, uneven. In the chat, the mood flips. Jokes turn to question marks. A few viewers type instructions like they're dispatchers, like typed words can reach the air. The craft begins to spin in a way that doesn't look intentional. The ground grows larger, not slowly, but all at once. And then comes the point of no return, where control stops being a skill and becomes a wish. Footage reports describe the moment as a sudden catastrophic loss of control, leading to a fatal crash, witnessed live by followers who could only watch and react. After impact, there's the worst kind of silence, the kind that isn't peaceful, it's empty. The stream ends either from the device failing, a loss of signal, or someone finally reaching the phone and shutting it off. Emergency services respond the way they always do. Too late for the moment that mattered. Official reporting states the creator died in the crash, and the aftermath is predictable, but still unsettling. Clips circulate, reposts multiply, strangers argue in comment sections about responsibility. Some blame the creator, some blame the platform, some blame the viewers for watching. But the truth is colder than that. A live stream makes danger feel like content, until it becomes evidence. But the next death didn't happen in the sky. It happened on stone. Case 2. The Wall That Doesn't Forgive. It was October 1st, 2025 at Yosemite National Park on the face of El Capitan, a wall so famous it's practically mythology. And on a live stream, a climber named Balin Miller, 23, is doing what only a small number of people on Earth can do, moving upward on a near vertical world. This wasn't just a climb, it was a broadcast. And that changes everything, because when you climb alone, you're managing fear. When you climb with others, you're managing teamwork. But when you climb live, you're also managing expectation. The motive isn't greed in the cartoon sense. It's more human than that, momentum. If people are watching, you keep going. If you've built a reputation on doing the hard thing, you don't suddenly choose the easy exit. You don't disappoint the crowd. The setting is breathtaking and indifferent. Cold stone, wind noise, tiny movements that matter. And down below, the world looks calm, because distance makes everything look calm. There's a foreshadowing detail in the reporting that lands like a warning label. The climb involved complicated rope work and gear handling near the end. the part people assume is safe because the big danger feels over. What he didn't realize was, on a wall like that, the end can be more dangerous than the middle because fatigue makes your brain negotiate with reality. The escalation isn't dramatic, it's procedural, exactly the kind of danger that kills professionals. He's near the top, managing equipment. He's hauling or moving gear in a way that requires precision. He's handling a system where one mistake doesn't feel like a mistake until it's finished happening. On live stream, the camera keeps seeing what the human mind can't process fast enough. Tiny choices stacking up. At some point, something goes wrong in the sequence. Reporting indicates he may have rappelled off the end of a rope while dealing with stuck gear near the top area. And then, the broadcast becomes something else. Because when someone falls from a place like that, there's no fix button. Viewers reportedly watched the climb live. Some saw the fall happen in real time, or saw the stream's rhythm break, movement changing, the feed destabilizing, panic in comments that can't reach the cliff. San Francisco Chronicle. The immediate response is swift, but nature doesn't negotiate. Rangers and emergency personnel respond, and the National Park Service notes an investigation. San Francisco Chronicle. The official conclusion is what you already know: a fatal fall in a climbing accident. And then comes the aftermath that always follows live stream tragedy. Tribute posts, memorial edits, strangers discussing blame like it's a sport. But the cold moral sting here is simple. A camera can make a mountain feel closer. It can't make it safer. The next death didn't come from height. It came from time. Case 3. The marathon that turned into a trap. It was August 18, 2025, in Contes Alpes-Maritimes, France, on the streaming platform Kick. A French creator known as Jean Pormenov, real name Raphael Gravin, 46, was deep into an extreme marathon live stream, measured not in minutes, but in hundreds of hours. This kind of stream has a motive built into it. Endurance equals attention. The longer you stay live, the more you earn. The more you suffer, the more people watch. And on platforms where shock and chaos aren't bugs but features, the line between challenge and cruelty gets erased. The environment isn't dramatic like a cliff or a cockpit. It's ordinary. Rooms, people, cameras, clutter, exhaustion. That's what makes it scarier. Because it suggests the danger is inside the body and inside the social pressure, not outside. Reporting around the case describes allegations of abuse and humiliation in the orbit of these streams, and a national backlash afterward. Because this wasn't a private health crisis, it was a spectacle. The Times of India. The foreshadowing is uncomfortable. Prolonged strain, visible fatigue, moments where the stream stops being funny and starts looking wrong. What he didn't realize was, when your body begins to fail, the audience doesn't feel it. They only see it. The escalation unfolds like a slow collapse. He appears increasingly unwell during the broadcast. Viewers notice changes before the room does, because the chat has hundreds of eyes. Someone comments that he looks in trouble. Another person in the stream checks him, too casually at first, because denial is a reflex. Breathing difficulty is reported as part of the final moments. Wikipedia. The point of no return isn't a scream or a fall. It's the moment the body stops responding the way a living body should. And then, on a platform built for constant content, the stream interrupts because suddenly everyone realizes this isn't performative anymore. Officials open investigations. And crucially, Reuters reporting later cites a prosecutor saying the autopsy found no signs of traumatic injuries and no evidence of third-party intervention, pointing instead toward medical or toxicological causes, with mention of pre-existing conditions. Afterward, the reaction becomes political. Public debate about platform responsibility, content moderation, and what happens when online humiliation is monetized like entertainment. Reuters. The moral sting here isn't about stunts, it's about consent and pressure. Because even when someone is choosing to stay alive, the machine around them can still be a trap. Next, the danger wasn't exhaustion, it was a door opening. Case 4. The salon livestream that became a crime scene. It was May 13, 2025, in Zapopan, Jalisco, Mexico. A 23-year-old beauty influencer, Valeria Marquez, is live on TikTok inside her salon. Bright lights, everyday chatter, the kind of stream built on routine and familiarity. Her motive is straightforward. She's doing what creators do, showing up, talking to her audience, turning a normal day into a shareable one. She's building a business and a brand at the same time. The scene feels safe because it's so normal. Indoor space, familiar setting, a phone propped up where thousands can see. The chat flows like always, comments, reactions, the little dopamine hits that keep the broadcast moving. And then comes the foreshadowing, reported as her expressing concern for her safety earlier in the live stream. It's a warning line that feels easy to shrug off until it becomes prophecy. Wikipedia. What she didn't realize was the live stream wasn't just entertainment, it was about to become a witness. The escalation happens in a sequence that feels unreal because it's so abrupt. Someone arrives. There's a moment of recognition, someone asking for confirmation. Her posture changes, small tension in the shoulders, a hesitation you can feel through the screen. The chat reacts before anyone in the room fully understands, and within seconds, the violence happens in frame or close enough that viewers understand exactly what they're seeing. Reporting states she was shot and killed while live streaming. Then, the broadcast ends, cut off as the phone is taken or the stream is stopped. Emergency responders arrive, but officials confirm she died at the scene. Authorities open an investigation, described as a possible femicide case in reporting, and the aftermath is the modern horror. The video circulates, accounts get removed, clips get reposted. Strangers who never knew her argue over motives and suspects like it's episodic content. But the real sting is the simplest one. She went live to share her day, and the world watched someone take her life. But the next tragedy wasn't in a private room. It was in public, under neon, under tourism, under the false safety of crowds. Case 5. The live stream at the Bellagio Fountains. It was June 2025 on the Las Vegas Strip near the Bellagio Fountains, a place built for spectacle. Two creators, a married couple identified as Tanisha Finley, 43, and Rodney Finley, 44, were live streaming to their shared YouTube audience when an armed confrontation turned fatal. The motive here isn't a stunt, it's exposure. Being live in Vegas makes sense. Bright lights, constant movement, easy content. The kind of stream where you narrate the night, joke with chat, and let the city perform around you. The scene is loud, water, music, foot traffic, the hum of 100 conversations. The camera is a tiny spotlight moving through a crowd. Foreshadowing comes from what police later describe, an alleged feud tied to social media stretching back months or years. In the real world, beef can fade. Online, it can harden. AP News. What they didn't realize was a live stream doesn't just attract fans. Sometimes it tells the wrong person exactly where you are. The escalation is brutally linear. The stream continues like normal. A figure approaches, close enough to be seen on the footage. The body language changes, an instinctive shift, the sense that the night just got colder. Then, the moment hits like a cut in a movie that isn't a movie. The suspect draws a gun and fires, according to police and reporting. AP News. Viewers watch in real time, some not understanding at first, some understanding instantly. The camera shakes, the audio captures panic. The stream continues for a few seconds too long because devices don't have empathy, and then reportedly, a police officer is seen turning off the live stream. AP News. Emergency calls flood in, including from the couple's son, according to the AP report. But the official outcome is final. Both victims die from gunshot wounds. The suspect later surrenders and faces murder charges. Police report that no firearm was found on the victims, despite a self-defense claim mentioned in reporting. AP News. The aftermath isn't just grief, it's a warning about visibility. Because the live internet doesn't only amplify your voice, it can amplify your location. Next, the danger came to a man who thought he was safe in his own home. Case 6. The broadcast that wasn't supposed to be his last. It was November 5, 2023, in Calamba, Misamis Occidental, Philippines. A radio broadcaster named Juan Jumalon, known on air as Johnny Walker, was doing what he always did, hosting a morning program that was also being streamed live on Facebook. His motive is routine. Go live, play music, talk to listeners, do your job. That's the scary part, because routine is where you stop expecting danger. The setting is intimate, a home-based radio station, a small booth, the soundboard, the comfort of a space he controlled. It's early, it's quiet outside. The kind of hour where threats feel far away. The warning sign arrives in disguise. According to reporting, a man approaches pretending to be a listener, asking to make a public announcement. That's the normal world knocking on the door. AP News. What he didn't realize was the request wasn't about airtime. It was about access. The escalation unfolds in minutes. The visitor appears. There's a brief exchange, mundane enough that nobody watching expects anything. Then the attacker enters the area where the broadcast is happening. The live stream keeps running because nothing has told it to stop. Gunshots ring out. The host is hit while still on air. AP News. The broadcast becomes chaos. Music still playing. The camera still showing a room that is abruptly turned into an emergency. Family members and others rush in. He's transported for treatment, but official reports state he was pronounced dead. AP News. Afterward, there's condemnation at the national level and renewed focus on the risks journalists and broadcasters face, especially when they're visible and accessible. AP News. And the moral sting is a cruel one. He wasn't doing something extreme. He was doing something normal, live. The final case is different because the threat didn't walk through a door. It was already in the room. Case 7. The live stream where the chat couldn't save him. It was August 31, 2020 in New Albany, Mississippi. A man named Ronnie McNutt, 33, went live on Facebook. And what followed became one of the most notorious examples of a death unfolding in real time on social media. The motive is not content, it's crisis. He's not chasing views, he's spiraling. And in moments like this, people reach for what feels close. The internet, the audience, the illusion of company. The parasocial bond flips direction, because now the streamer isn't entertaining the viewers. He's using the viewers as a last thread of connection. The scene is quiet and domestic. Indoors, a camera set up, a man talking. The sensory details are ordinary enough to make the moment feel even heavier. The flat tone of a room, the hum of a live feed, the sudden seriousness of a chat that realizes it's not watching a performance. There are warning signs, emotional distress, escalating agitation, and viewers reportedly call for help. Police were called and responded, according to reporting summarized in widely cited accounts of the incident. Wikipedia. What he didn't realize was, the internet is fast at watching, but it's slow at intervening. The escalation is heartbreaking because it's chronological and irreversible. He continues talking as viewers plead with him to stop. The chat becomes a frantic chorus, people typing like typing is action. Some attempt to contact authorities. The stream continues anyway because platforms are built for broadcasting, not emergency triage. A final moment happens on camera that ends his life. Official descriptions report he died by suicide during the live stream. Wikipedia. And the broadcast becomes the worst kind of artifact, something people can replay. Afterward, the official conclusion is clear: death by suicide. The wider aftermath is what made this case infamous. The clip spread, re-uploads multiplied, and it sparked renewed pressure on platforms to detect and remove harmful content more aggressively. Wikipedia. And the moral sting here is the hardest one. Sometimes the most dangerous place to be isn't outside, it's alone, while thousands watch. Every one of these stories ends the same way. The feed cuts, sirens arrive. An official statement confirms what viewers already feared. But the reasons they happened, those are the warning signs we keep ignoring. Because live creates pressure, it rewards risk, it normalizes exhaustion, it turns privacy into exposure. And it convinces people the moment isn't real until the audience reacts. So if there's one takeaway, it's this: no clip is worth a life, no stream is worth a death. If you want, in the next video, we'll dig into another set of last moments cases, where a single decision made in seconds rewrote everything, like subscribe and stay safe.